everyone. Happy New Year Eve. Yeah, I had more of what I wanted to say to start this off, but my brain just went blank because I hit the start recording button, and I had an intro that I was gonna give, and then it just left my brain. It's gone now. But hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I've done one other stream like this before where I kind of talked about health and fitness and lifestyle stuff. If my voice is all effed up, it's because I'm just getting over a cold, but I don't have COVID, so that's good news. So today, what we will be going over is setting goals, and then not just setting the goal, but keeping those goals. A lot of people will have big ambitions when they go into the year and be like, I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be great. And then after January, it all kind of like fizzles apart and goes away. Last year, I made a goal chart, which I would say is step one to like figuring out your goals. And a lot of things happened last year, but I hit almost everything on the chart. I have a handwritten one, and I'm gonna go over it tonight with you guys. I'm gonna review how my year went, and then I'm also gonna I made a new one, and I'm gonna make it on stream as well. I'm gonna do it a second time digitally so it's easier to see. There's a lot of different ways that you can set this up and a lot of different ways that you can do this, but I'm gonna do it digitally just so it's easy for you to see. It's gonna look exactly like the one that I have in my hands. 2021, this was the goal sheet that I made, but I had a lot of goals for 2021, so I'm just gonna go through them quick. Life goals: buy a house, get a new job, get my own streaming setup, form a studio space, and get a piano. I hit every single one of those. So I bought a house, I got a new job, and that's actually kind of funny story with that. I made this in February of 2021. My goal in February was to get a new job, and I did, and then last week I got fired. I hit that goal, but then I also, that's another goal I have for this year now, to get a job, I guess. So that happened, but which was unexpected. Things happen, life happens. We couldn't anticipate being fired. So yeah, that's that. Get my own streaming setup. If you've watched me stream since like day one, I used to use my boyfriend's computer, but I didn't have my own PC. I didn't have anything. All I had was just my laptop, and I didn't want to stream off my laptop because it just wouldn't handle it well. Got my own stream setup. Form a studio space. This is my studio space. I do art in here. I stream in here. I do a lot of stuff in here. So this is my studio space. This is my office. This is my room. That was one of my goals this year. Did it. Get a piano. You can't quite see it because chat's in the way. I have a piano right here next to my giraffe head. All 5 things on my life goal list, I hit all 5. Fitness goals. So this one was had a little bit of a wrench thrown in here for this one. First thing on my fitness goal list, which will be getting moved over, is to complete my second Ironman. I did my first Ironman in 2017, and I've been wanting to do a second one since I did my first one. There's a lot of reasons that Ironman is important to me. If you don't know what an Ironman is, it's a 140.6 mile triathlon. It's a 2.4 mile swim, a 112 mile bike, and a 26.2 mile run. So I did that in 2017, and it's been my goal since doing my first one to do a second one. I haven't been able to do a second one, and I still didn't do it this year. I was fully signed up and everything, but I had to defer to next year because of different injuries that I've been dealing with. I remember being like fully prepared for the swim and fully prepared for the run. Biking was just not happening for me. So I'm going to put a much stronger focus on biking this year because of different, like I said, I've had neck injuries for a while, and that's what's really been difficult for biking for me, is because I would get these intense migraines and just not be able to bike, and I would just want to throw up. Like it was so bad. But I've done a lot to help those neck issues, and they have gotten a lot better. That is another goal for this year that's getting passed over. Second goal for my fitness goals was to get a new bike. And you can see it behind me a little bit. The saddle is right here. If you've seen me stream in the past, I did a Zwift stream the other day, but I got a brand new bike. I got it fitted to me. It was very expensive, but it'll be worth it so that I don't re-injure my neck. I have aero bars now. I didn't have aero bars before. So I got a brand new fancy spaceship bike, which is going to help a lot. But that was one of my goals for my fitness goals. Check that off. Third one for my fitness goals was to continue tracking my macros. If you don't know what macros are, macronutrients, it's basically just carbs, fat, and protein, and it's your intake for the day of all 3 of those. I was tracking those when I first made this sheet, and I stopped because I'm lazy. It didn't happen. I ended up not doing it. There's a doggo down here. But then my 4th thing was to complete a half marathon, and I did that. I actually completed 2 half marathons this year. Check that off. And then when I made this, initially I also wanted to do a full marathon. So I wanted to do my second Ironman, a half marathon, and a full marathon all in 1 year. I talked to some friends though, and they said that that's really actually not smart. You should not do a full marathon and a full Ironman in the same year because they both just take so much toll on your body. So after talking to some people, that one just got crossed off. Didn't know better when I first made this. Ended up not doing Ironman, and I did 2 half marathons instead of 1. And then social media. So this is the one where I really dropped the ball. To be honest, I'm okay with that because my life goals and my fitness goals were more important to me than just the social media goals. Though I want to grow on social media and be more of a content creator. I would love to do it full time and be a full-time artist and content creator. But life goals and fitness goals still came as priority over that. So that's probably why the ball dropped on some of these. But like I said, that's okay. For social media, I wanted to get my Instagram to 5K. It's not at 5K. It's getting closer to 3K. It grew a little bit, but not a lot. Twitch, I wanted to get 500 followers by the end of this year. That didn't happen. We're at 250, so we only got halfway to that mark. However, on the back of this, I wrote some stats when I first made this. My goal is to get my Instagram to 5K. It was at 2,400, and now it's at 2,900. So it didn't grow nearly as much as I hoped it would, which kind of makes me sad, but it is what it is. Twitch, though. My goal is to get to 500 by the end of the year. I didn't do that. I started at 19. I had 19 followers when I made this list, and now I have over 250. So there still was quite a bit of growth there. So I'm really still proud of myself for that. Wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I might have set a goal that I didn't realize how hard it was to reach, and I didn't fully reach that goal. Like I said, there was still quite a bit of growth. YouTube. I didn't even have a YouTube made yet. So that was a big 0, and now I have 61 subs on YouTube. Goal was to get to 200 subs and upload at least once a month. Neither of those happened. I've uploaded maybe 7 or 8 videos. The goal was 12. But yeah, my goal on YouTube was to get to 200 subs, got 61. I wanted to upload at least 12 videos, so at least once a month. That didn't happen either. Like I said, dropped the ball on some social media stuff. However, something very unexpected happened. I had 0 goals for my Twitter, and I went from having 646 followers on Twitter to now almost over 3,600. Not expected at all. Had no plans for Twitter. Had no hopes or anything for Twitter. And that grew the most out of everything. So even though I dropped the ball on these other social media goals that I had, Twitter blew up. My first ever Twitch stream was January 22nd of this last year. And then my goal was to reach affiliate by the end of the year. And I did. I hit affiliate late summer, early fall. So those were all my 2021 goals. I forgot a very important part that I think a lot of people don't think about when they set goals. So I'll show you this. Circle of 5. So if you can read my handwriting, it says, who are you surrounding yourself with? And you might be asking yourself, Carly, why is this important? This is why. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you add up all of your incomes, you're the average of all those 5 incomes. Build up all your personality traits. You are the average of all those personality traits. So who you spend your time with is very, very, very important. It's something that I keep track of, and if you saw, it was in pencil because it's something that's always changing. It might be worth it to reflect on who do you spend your time with, because if they're not helping you grow, how can you expect yourself to hit these goals? That doesn't mean that you have to cut these people out of your life completely. It might mean you need to cut some people out of your life. Are you spending your time with the wrong people? Who knows? Mine definitely changed. It's not the same as it used to be. I'm still friends with them, but they're not like my top 5 people. But a little bit of a story time. The first time I ever did this exercise, I think I was like 18 or 19, and I was at a conference, and they had us, write down. So if you're watching this right now and you want to go through this, write down who are the 5 people you spend the most time with. I wrote them down. And the speaker said, now I want you to look at this list carefully. Chances are one of these people is bringing you down. One of these people is not helping you grow, and one of these people is a negative influence in your life. You need to fix it. If you want to grow as a person and you want to continue prospering, you got to cut the negativity and the toxicity out of your life. I looked at the list, and it was honestly very hard for me to look at. And I first looked at it, the number 1 person I spent the most time with on that list was my boyfriend. And the person that was the negative influence in my life and not helping me grow as a person was my boyfriend at the time. It was just kind of like revelation of, we gotta break up. And so we did. I broke up with him a few weeks after that because I realized after thinking about it really hard, you're not helping me. I have big goals in life, and I can't drag you with me. If they don't want to grow, they're not going to come with. Some of your friends will want to grow with you, and that's great. That's going to make it even easier for you. Some people are just weights that you drag along. You'll be able to hit those goals a lot faster if you unclip those weights and start running. For everyone, it's different, but, that might be time for you to sit down and write that out. Who are the 5 people that you're spending the most time with? And are they all a positive influence on your life? And if they aren't, why aren't they? And what are they bringing to the table? So those are my 2021 goals. I hit almost all of them. I hit the ones that were most important to me. But you'll find when you're making this list that certain things are going to be more important to you than other things. I hit all of the ones that were most important to me, except for doing my Ironman. And that was due to different injuries and just circumstance that I can't really control. Now, if you would like to join and make your own chart, we can do that. As we do that, I'll talk about other things because you might not know what you want to do for 2022. And that's okay. If you don't know what you want to do, now you can start thinking about it. And you don't have to complete this list tonight or today or within one day. Actually, if you take time to think about it and work it out before writing it all down, that might even be better. And you could do this multiple ways. You can do it in your notes app on your phone. If you want to have it written out, I suggest this because then I'll hang this on my wall next to my computer and I'll look at it every day for the entirety of 2022. So it's a daily reminder of this is what I wanted at the beginning of the year. Where am I at with that? But like I said, I'm going to make it on stream so that we can make it on stream together and you can follow along and it's easy to watch. If you want to format this a different way, do whatever works best for you. Some tips as we go into this. If you're starting from zero and you have no idea what you want to do this year, sit down, think about what's important to you. Think about who's important to you. Think about what your life goals in general are. Like, what do you want to do before you die? You might not have an answer to that either, and honestly, most people don't. So it's okay if you're starting from nothing. Just know that. You don't have to do these quadrants that I'm doing. The ones I would suggest just having a circle of 5 and life goals at the very least. If those are your only 2, then great. Start from there. But if you don't know where to start, hopefully some of this just helps spark some ideas. But if you're trying to write down what's important to you, think about what are you good at? And then think about what do you like to do? Maybe it's just gaming. Maybe it's art. Maybe you really like underwater basket weaving. I don't know. Write it down. If it's something you enjoy, just write it down. Maybe you want to start a business. You want to sell stuff online. Maybe you just want to get better at doing your hair and makeup. Maybe you want to have some fitness goals. I'm just saying some things that are simple to help with some other ideas. But if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to pause it quick to kind of brainstorm what's important to you, go ahead and do that. So these are the minimum ones that I would recommend to have on your sheet. I would not do more than 4 quadrants though. I would do somewhere between 2 and 4. If you do too many things, you're not going to be able to get them all done. You're not going to have any focus on what's most important to you. Try not to have too many big things. I'm going to separate them into different spots. That's fine, but I would do between 2 and 4. Technically, I only have 3 because the one is a circle of 5. The more pointed your goals, the better and easier it'll be for you to hit them. Have fitness goals. Again, you might not have fitness goals. These are just mine. And then social media. This one is very specific to me in general because I want to be a full-time content creator. So social media is kind of important. I also just enjoy social media. I think that's an important thing too. If one of your goals is to eat healthier, be more in shape, the reason a lot of people end up failing or dropping that is because they're not doing something they genuinely enjoy. So you want your goals and stuff to be stuff that you enjoy. It'll be way easier to hit them. And maybe you don't enjoy running, but maybe you enjoy rock climbing. Maybe you enjoy just going for a walk. You don't have to go 0 to 100 in January. In fact, I would suggest not doing that. Maybe you don't like broccoli and you're trying to eat healthier. Don't eat broccoli. There's lots of other vegetables that you can eat and other healthy foods you can eat other than broccoli. If you don't like smoothies, which I don't like smoothies, don't eat smoothies. Like, don't force yourself to do things that you genuinely hate. And don't force yourself to do things that also aren't good for you. Like, if you're injured and you know that certain physical movements are bad for you, don't make yourself do them. But anyway, circle of 5. So again, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Sometimes this is actually kind of hard for me to do. I'm like, who do I actually spend the most time with? One of those people is RJ. RJ is my boyfriend and I live with him. It makes sense that he is one of the people that I spend the most time with. If you have roommates, chances are you spend a lot of time with them. If they're a negative influence in your life, that might not be someone that you can easily cut out if you're trying to cut ties with people in your life, but you don't really have to talk to them. Another person is my friend Kate. She's one of my closest friends. She's also RJ's friend. So we spend a lot of time together as well because all three of us are very close. Spencer. Spencer is one of the mods in my chat and on my Discord. He gives me lots of help with streaming and everything. Very knowledgeable on all of it. I'm still new to a lot of it. I talk to him a lot about improving stream and all that kind of good stuff. I'm very glad that he's one of my top 5. Katie. Katie is my sister. An easy way to figure out who your top 5 are is honestly I look at my best friends on Snapchat. Those are the people I talk to most often that I snap every day. Hyper, if you're still here, you're the 5th person that I chose for this. This may change as your year goes on. For 2021, 2 people in my circle of 5, 2 coworkers that I used to work with, but since I don't work with her anymore, I don't see them every day anymore. Not that we aren't friends, I just don't talk to them and I'm not face to face with them as much anymore. And that's fine. Now again, you want to look at this closely because you are the average of these 5 people. If you look at it, you're probably like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. Personalities, the things that they like, their interests, hobbies, probably their job. You don't need to have them to have all the same goals as you, but having at least the same interests, very clearly rooting for you. You want people rooting for you. That's what's important in your circle of 5. One of these people, and maybe even more, you might need to try and boot if they're not helping you, if they're a negative influence in your life. If these people don't line up to be something that's helpful towards your goals, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to kick them out. They still might be positive, good people, but instead, who do you want to be closer with that will help you towards those goals? Maybe it's an older friend that you lost contact with, but they're knowledgeable on something that you want to do, so you want to get closer to them again. Maybe it's someone that you follow on social media. I know I follow a lot of Mogo Moves people. They do what I want. They're living my dream. Life goals. This one was also one of last year's goals, and we did hit it, but now we need to redo it. Get a job. Last year, that was one of my goals, and it is one of my goals again because I got fired 2 days before Christmas. So now we have that same goal again. Raise money for To Write Love on her arms. I had planned to do this year when I did my Ironman, but Ironman did not happen. So if you don't know what To Write Love on Our Arms is, it's an organization that really promotes mental health awareness and people that really need help and are struggling. One of the reasons that I did my Ironman is because I was one of those people struggling. I had a lot of different things that I was dealing with, and in order to deal with it, I turned to fitness to help myself and help myself mentally with all of it. To Write Love on Our Arms is something that's important to me, and my first Ironman was for me, and now I want this one to be for others. So that's why this is important to me to raise money for this organization, because I know that they will help others with similar issues that I had. I have monetary value of a goal that I have in mind for this, but I'm not going to share it till it gets closer. If you follow me on Twitch or YouTube or any of my social media, which if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you follow me on anything, you'll see me share more of that as it gets closer. Travel outside the USA with RJ. The with RJ part was important for me to add because I already know that I'm going to Mexico. We're planning to go to Mexico. You know, COVID might say no to that. We have been trying to travel somewhere for like 2 years now. We were supposed to go to Japan the beginning of 2020. We bought our tickets to 2019. Obviously, that still hasn't happened. But we want to go somewhere. That's why that one is specifically to be with RJ. Another one. Save 10K. Now, important tidbit for setting goals, make them reasonable. This one is going to be very difficult to obtain. I know I'm capable of doing it, but I know it's going to be hard. If you're someone that really likes to shoot for the stars, I would say have your big goal. Great to have a really big goal, but then also have a second one that's smaller that is something that you would still be happy with. That's more of like a reasonable goal. If I saved 5K this year, I would still be happy. So that's like my smaller goal. Ideally, big goal, I want to save 10K. That's going to be hard, but like I said, I know I can do it. Last life goal I have is to make enough profit from art and streaming to do it full time. So I do have get a job in here as one of my goals, but really the ultimate goal would be this. I would love to do all of this full time. I am setting it as a goal for this year. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably not gonna happen this year, but I'm gonna write it down, have it here, because I know that's something that's important to me, and I want to be able to see it every single day. Again, this is why it's important to have it handwritten, so that you can just hang it up on your wall or put it somewhere that you could see it and view it at all times. So those are my life goals. Yours are probably very different. Maybe social media doesn't mean anything to you. Maybe you love your job. Maybe you want to raise money for something. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have zero plans of traveling. Maybe you want to learn how to bake. Maybe you want to learn how to cook. Those are good goals to have. You can have it be whatever you want. Fitness goals. This is again a pushover from last year because it didn't happen. Complete second Ironman. This has been a goal for a long time, and we're going to do it this year. Again, complete half marathon. If I could do one half marathon a year for the rest of my life, that would probably be good. But we'll see if my knees agree with that statement. At least one try sprint. I would like to do more, but at least one. And that's really it for my fitness goal. I don't have many more. For all of these, if you do multiple sections, again, I would not do more than 5. So get somewhere between 3 or 5, because if you have too many, you're going to have too wide of a spread. You're not going to hit them all. So you want to make sure that it is stuff that all works together well. And all of these kind of go together. This will be training for a full Ironman, and this will be training for a full Ironman. Those two things help me towards the main goal of completing my second Ironman. Saving 10K, that goes towards travel. Get a job helps save 10K. Raising money, that's going to be something completely different that kind of goes with fitness goals and social media. But this goes with other things that are important to me. You'll see a lot of these things align, which makes it a lot easier to complete them. Make enough profit from art and streaming to do it full time. Social media, part of that streaming. All of these things connect. Social media. This is where I dropped the ball last year, and I'm hoping that I don't do it again this year, but a lot of my stuff is growing quite well on its own, and it doesn't take quite as much work for me to put into these things, but we're still gonna have goals set. Same time as last year, this was last year's goal, we didn't hit it. Get Insta to 5K. That is the goal for Instagram. But Twitter I had 0 goals for last year, and it blew up. I had 600 something followers at the beginning of last year, and now I have 3,600. Get Twitter to 10K. I think this is quite reasonable for me. The 5K might end up being harder than I think. Twitter to 10K, Twitch to 2,000. So this is a big goal. I had it set at 1,000 at first. Trying to hit partner before the end of next year, and I feel like if I'm trying to do that, 1,000 is not enough to be a partner. So I put 2,000 because the goal was to hit Twitch partner. But I'm doing way more on Twitch than I was even just like 3 months ago. I used to stream only once or twice a week. Now I stream almost every day. This will be a hard goal to hit, but it is doable. We can do it. And then YouTube to 1,000. This is gonna rely on me actually posting videos and actually editing videos and like doing YouTube shit. It's time consuming, and I just need to do it. And then on the bottom of this was a tip from Ludwig on how to grow your Twitch and YouTube. Find at least 3 people that you want to emulate. And this makes a lot of sense to me that these are the 3 people I want to be most like, and it's Ludwig, CDogVA, who is Connor, and then Cutie Cinderella. All 3 of them are my favorite streamers, and that's because they do stuff that I like and that I want to do. I love doing just chatting and cooking streams like Cutie does all the time. Connor does a lot of anime content, and he's super funny. I love his video edits. I love watching him stream. Very good at being entertaining, and he has a really great stream deck. Ludwig is amazing at building a community and interacting with his community. That's why he's such a good streamer and being original and coming up with creative ideas. So I look up to those people for content creation. That is most of my goals. On the back of this, I have some stats too. So I put the date when I wrote this and made this. My Instagram is at 2933, and we're trying to get it to 5K. My Twitch is at 254, and we're gonna try and get to 2,000. My 2 main focuses right now are Ironman and full-time streaming and content creation. Doing my Ironman and getting my Twitch to grow are like the 2 most important things to me right now. So even though that's a big goal, I'm confident that I'll be able to hit it. YouTube, I was at 61, and the goal is to get to 1,000. Twitter, I'm at 3,600, and the goal is to get it to 10K. If you're watching on YouTube, hi! Thanks for watching. If you like this, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot, and it's free. And that's one of my goals, is to be able to do this full time, and I can't do that without your help. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks for being here.